Old Henry. Well, that's a movie. I had no fucking clue this movie even existed. Now, there may be a few reasons why, but we're going to get into that here in a second. Are you ready for spoilers? Here they come. So it's a western, if you didn't pick that up. Um, Basically, it's Unforgiven, right? And that ain't bad. If you're gonna emulate a movie, emulate a good movie. Unforgiven is awesome. Old Henry, is it awesome? It's pretty goddamn good. A little tropey. Why? Because we've seen Unforgiven. Sure, sure. We know that there's a an old gun that has become a farmer who's all through with it. His wife's dead, of course. He has a son. Um, and that's going to be the main tension of this film. The tension between the father and the son. And I'll tell you what, they do it pretty good. Tim Blake Nelson kicks some serious ass doing this. This is nothing like the Ballad of Buster Scruggs. Nothing like that. He is not a cheery character in any way. His son, while a little bit annoying in his performance, this is Gavin Lewis, really good actor apparently. While he's a little bit annoying, but he's playing an annoying kid, right? Does a great fucking job, man. No problem. So, then what's the conflict? Well, there's a bad guy, and he wants the money, and so his bad guy friend who cheated him out runs into Busker Scruggs. I mean, runs into old Henry. You know what I'm saying. They get involved, and you don't know if the dude that has run into them is the bad guy or not, because he says he's like a sheriff, and it turns out he is, but it turns out he's also a bad guy. He has dreams as well, and that's a completely different side plot. Let's go back to one. Let's go back to one. What in the fuck is this movie about? All right, it's about this. You have the old gun, who it turns out to be Billy the Kid, but no one really cares about that. Not really. His son is a big old bitch, and he wants to get out. He thinks his dad is a wimp. Turns out he's not. He's Billy the Kid. And they get embroiled in a bank robbery, I suppose, that went wrong. And it turns out that the bank robbers are just mean and terrible, and that's kind of what's going on with all of them. Trace Adkins plays the main guy, and he does an excellent I'm a bad guy job. He monologues. He's got charisma. He's clearly a bad guy who can't be reasoned with. And so, really, what is this movie about? Basically, you're watching Tim Blake Nelson play Clint Eastwood and argue with his son, Gavin Lewis, about, hey, don't die. And Gavin Lewis doesn't get it for a long time until he finally does. It all goes tits up. And I think that's about it. Yeah, so what did I like about this? We're not going to start with what I liked. Y'all, we're going to start with what I disliked. I kind of said it, it's a little tropey. Tim Blake Nelson plays such a good role. They all do. They all play amazing roles. And the script is good, I suppose. It's good. It's just fucking derivative. Patsy Panciroli. Panciroli? I don't know how to pronounce the director's name. Does a good goddamn job. The music is good. The visuals are good. It's beautiful to watch. I watched it end to end. But the whole time I was thinking, I've had this. I've seen this. I'm enjoying this. But it's really not doing anything new. And that's unfortunate because the performances and the videography and all those things are very, very good. Okay. Dislikes, they could have done without the Billy the Kid story. Yes, it's kind of cool, the reveal, but It's ham-fisted. You don't really need it. No one cares. The fact that the sort of subplot villain who you think may not be a villain but is a villain, and you really kind of know he's a villain from the get-go, played by Stephen Dorff, Stefan, who knows? You know, he's got like this whole dream thing about he was a kid and he saw Billy the Kid and he was there when Billy the Kid got shot, but turns out he was wrong. And he's been talking to Billy the Kid the whole time. Yeah, plot twist, I suppose. You could do without it. You just don't need it. Just make this guy a badass. Make Tim Blake Nelson, just make him a badass. That's all you need. He's a badass. He was back in the day. His name was like not Old Henry. It was like Henry James. You know, some dude with like two first names or something. He kicked ass. You don't need the backstory of this guy with dreams to give him a motivation to shoot him in the end. It doesn't matter. And then that gives, the son the reason to shoot the bad guy. Yeah. Okay. The ending of this is also in the dislikes. The ending of it reminded me of, what's that? It's not There Will Be Blood. What is it? The Book of Eli. Where you got like the new and up and coming who goes out into the world again. Yeah. Kind of softens the tragic story. Don't do that. Go with Unforgiven. Just ride off into the fucking black of night, and all of us will love you for it. What did I like? Other than the performances, there's something they did that was really interesting. This sort of pistol dance. They seem to take a lot of time to show the reality of, hey, you have to reload, right? And that takes time, and it can fuck with you. And then when you're going to be in a gunfight with pistols, because most of the time they're using pistols in this movie, they hide behind shit. But they position their bodies in such a way, kind of like the old graphics where you put one shoulder forward because they don't have such a large target. They do a lot of that. They kind of play up the idea of what a bullet wound actually looks like and feels like and how it hinders you and all that stuff. Not that I've been shot, but they try to make it realistic, and that is cool. What's the conclusion of all this? Okay. Old Henry is on Amazon Prime. I couldn't find it anywhere else. You can rent it for like $2. It's a good watch. It's a good Western. It's good acting. It's a beautiful movie. A little tropey, a little trite. But that is made up for by the performances. The bad guys are bad, yes, and kind of only bad, yes. Not many motivations, yes. But they're interesting. And the main dude, Trace Adkins, is a killer. I mean that as a double entendre. He is fun to watch. Like I said, Gavin Lewis, is it a breakout role? I don't know, but he does a good goddamn job. And of course, Tim Blake Nelson. He is nowhere near the Ballad of Busker Scruggs in this. Very interesting, lots of emotion. If you're into that kind of thing, if you're into Unforgiven, okay, well, go watch Unforgiven, and then watch the Ballad of. Oh wait, no, what? That's not what it is. Old Henry, 2021. That's about all I got tonight, and I don't know. Go make something yourselves.